to contractual obligations, we must leave this program to bring you the following event. Your teams, the heart of Atlanta, Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
It's time to bring on the Dodgers or bring on the Giants. The Braves have knocked off the Brewers and advanced to the National League Championship Series as we welcome you to Braves Live Postseason presented by Xfinity. What a classic game for at Truist Park. The Braves overcame 2 deficits and a Freddie Freeman late inning home run, the deciding blow as the Braves win this series 3-1 over the Milwaukee Brewers. What a night tonight in Atlanta, Georgia.
MVP.
Welcome to our Plaza stage here at the Battery Atlanta. The sellout crowd of over 40,000 making their way out of Truist Park to our stage where the Braves are ready to look on and face either the Dodgers or the Giants. I'm Chip Carey, Nick Green, Brian Jordan, and wouldn't you know it, on a night when someone comes up so clutch, we have Charlie Clutch. Charlie Culberson joining us tonight. His first time on the set. You get to see a walk-off homer from Freddie Freeman. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I feel a little left out tonight. But I'm a baseball fan and happy for the guys. Freddie, obviously, coming through like he always does. Unbelievable.
Guys, this game was unreal. It really was unreal. Like so many of them, offense so hard to come by, a million twists and turns, and in a game where the Braves bullpen had to come up big, Nick, they came up huge tonight.
Well, remember, Charlie Morton was pitching on short rest.
Right.
So to get the 3 1/3 out of Charlie Morton was big. Didn't look great in that 4th inning, so they had to pull him. Now you have to start piecing things together, right? Well, guys had to come up with big hits. They were able to do it. They were answering every time the Brewers scored runs, BJ. This team never quit, and I think the second 2 games of this series really helped them and led up to this day. Obviously, we're looking at Freddie Freeman as a hero, but all the way around, everybody kept picking each other up.
You know, this team has been resilient all season long, and tonight was no different. Every time they fell behind, they came right back. They battled back, and you're right, the bullpen did a terrific job. We knew Charlie Morton was going to give us 4 or 5, hopefully, but it didn't happen, and Noah comes in, and everybody was great. Minter was just outstanding. Collectively, this was a team win with the MVP coming through big late.
And let's look at it, too. Remember, a few minutes before game time, the Braves had to totally restructure their lineup once again. Jorge Soler out with COVID, yet somehow, some way, this team finds a way to win Game 3 and win this series over Milwaukee. Let's look at the 4 keys. Obviously, it starts with the game-deciding blow. Who better than Freddie Freeman? You knew this series might turn on Freeman versus Hader, and tonight it did.
BJ, I'm going to give it to you.
You got to give it to me, baby. Freddie Freeman against Hader. He goes, yeah, straight away center field. Hey, he had a walk-off in 2019 against Hader, and I don't know why Hader threw a great pitch for him to hit. But Freddie, the MVP of the team, how big was that, Nick?
It was huge. I mean, you look at Rosario's at bat, then Dansby's at bat. They look silly, right, against Hader. So the slider was working. Tries to go first pitch slider to Freddie, and all of a sudden he comes up big. Charlie, you know Freddie wants to be in those situations.
Always. That's what he lives for right there. Freddie, you see the excitement on his face. He had talked about working in the cage, going the other way. That's what he does best. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Who do you want up to bat? Freddie Freeman. Crowd goes nuts. It's unbelievable.
First pitch.
That's why he's hitting second. That's why he's hitting second, BJ.
Here we go.
Now you like second, Nick. Oh, my goodness.
Look, we all know over the course of this season, Will Smith had a terrific year as far as the number of saves is concerned. We also know that Will Smith at times, shall we say, made it interesting in the 9th inning. How many of you in Braves country had Will Smith saving all 3 of the Braves wins in this series? All 3 of them.
I did. I knew it was going to be, a little stressful.
Yep.
But when he gave up that leadoff hit, I knew we were going to be okay because it's such the norm. He pitches so much better when he gets somebody on base early. He gives up the single. Everybody was saying, oh, my goodness, but here it is. When you make mistakes like that and you don't get the bunt down, it always costs you. And I think it gave Will Smith that second breath that he needed, and boy, was he dominant with the slider, Charlie.
I mean, I didn't watch a whole lot of Braves games this year, but there's a reason why they signed Will to a 3-year deal. He's got the confidence on the mound. You know, just watching him out there, he wants the ball, and look at him, another save.
And I liked his stuff, though, the last 2 games coming into this postseason. I felt like he was in a better spot. The fastball looked better. We saw 95 today. I thought that was a good sign. The slider is getting better, staying down in the zone better. And all of a sudden, you know, in this situation, it's going to be tight games. Runners are going to be on base for Will Smith, but at the same time, he knows how to get out of it. Like you said, BJ does a great job with runners on base, but kudos to him, man. 3 saves, games 2, 3, and 4.
What can you say about the Braves bullpen? 14 2/3 innings of work, Nick, just 2 runs allowed in 4 games.
And they've done a really good job of managing the game. And when you look at the bullpen, they're leaning on the same guys, too. Luke Jackson's one of those guys they've leaned on, Tyler Matzik and Will Smith as well. But Jesse Chavez did a great job. You know, it did not have his best stuff. He struggled a little bit. And when you look at A.J. Minter coming up big, I love that for him. I thought he might start in this game. He wasn't in that spot, but BJ, these guys have come up big, and they're getting it done again in the postseason.
You named the right guy, Chavez. I mean, he's been spectacular this whole series. And tonight, coming to a tough situation, and he only managed to give up 1 run. It was a man on second and third. He gave up 1 run. That was huge. I think it was huge to change the momentum back in the favor of the Braves. You got to give Brian Snitker a lot of credit for managing this bullpen. He's done a terrific job throughout this series, Charlie.
That's the thing. You're talking about guys that have been there and done that. Jesse's been around for a long time. Big situation, but I feel like he just pitches like it's another game. Minter, you see what he did last year in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
He was unbelievable. Minter wants the ball. He's a bulldog out there, and it's awesome to see it.
6 Braves relievers covered 5 2/3 innings of 2-run relief tonight.
Wow.
And the man that got the final out is standing by with Kelly Kroll, who's with Will Smith, who saved game number 4 tonight for Atlanta.
Well, Will, there you are on the mound. 3 outs to go. This team's headed to the NLCS. How good does it feel?
It feels good. You know, this was one of our goals all year round. We wanted to get to the World Series, obviously, but this is the next step to it. So, you know, we'll be ready to go.
What does it mean to do it in the fashion that you guys have done it in, though? I mean, there's no doubting this was a struggle for a while for this group. You talked about it right after you clinched, that it was a struggle for you personally this year. So to be standing here tonight, that has to feel pretty darn good. It does, but it's just the group we have in there. We never quit. We never think we're out. It doesn't matter who we're facing or the lead we have or how many we're down. We're going to give it hell, you know, for 9 innings and 27 outs, and that's our MO. Well, on the other side, everybody knows how good Josh Hader is. I asked Travis Darno, but what are you thinking when you're watching Freddie Freeman up there? I mean, that's 2 studs. That's 2 superstars going against each other. Somebody's got to win. We're just glad our guy won, and Freddie was the superstar tonight. Okay, where do you start the celebration now? How does it roll? I'm about to wave to my parents and wife, and I'm about to head in there and pop champagne. You do it, Will. Thank you so much. Guys.
Here to Charlie. All right.
Hey, yelling Charlie, baby.
We're back.
Man, it's got to feel great for a Georgia kid, Charlie Culberson, to get the biggest out of the series for the Braves on his home field.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. Man, you want to do it for your family, yourself, your friends, Braves country. Braves country's loud tonight. Will Smith's doing it.
So Atlanta wins this series. They now will look forward to Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. And as you mentioned, Nick, with Charlie Morton going on 3 days rest, the Braves now have a bit of a luxury. They wait for the Dodgers and Giants to finish up. Hope that goes 5 games. Atlanta now can rest, reset, and get the rotation back in order for the second round of the postseason.
And I think that's so important because if you have to play Game 5, and I think Charlie was the right decision going today because you still had Max Fried that could go in Game 5. With those guys going in those situations, Max not having to be used, now everything lines up like it should. That's what you want to see for this rotation. And Ian Anderson came up big in this series, so he's going to have to come up big again. But if you have to use Max in Game 5, what happens to the rotation, BJ? Not in a situation that they want to be in. Luckily, they got it done today.
What I think was so important tonight is Enoa got some experience. And if it comes down to 4 starters, I think Enoa, with this experience today and last year, he understands how important it is to go out there and pitch much better than he did today. He hung a curveball. You know, he paid the price on it. But I think he's going to learn from it, and he's going to come up huge in his next series.
Well, whether he's the number 4 guy or not, the Braves know who they've got 1, 2, and 3 in whatever order going into the next series, and that'll be with either the Giants or Dodgers, who are getting underway out on the West Coast as we speak tonight. Can't talk about how good the pitching staff is without talking about how good the battery was. Travis d'Arnaud has been a huge return for this Braves lineup over the final 80 games of the season. He's playing hurt. He came up with a big hit tonight. He, too, standing by with Kelly Crow.
Well, Travis, you spent a big chunk of this season having to watch from the sidelines while your guys battled and battled just to keep their head above water. And here you are headed to the NLCS. What does that mean?
Special. Special group of guys. Fought through adversity this whole year. I'm just thankful to be a part of it.
You seem emotional right now.
Yeah, it's a crazy year. You know, we were, 5 games or whatever under 500, and we bring a couple new faces and we go on a run. Special group of guys, never gave up, and wow.
You know, tonight it took a lot of guys. I want you to start with Charlie Morton coming back on short rest, setting the tone for you. But I have seen now pitcher after pitcher come up to you. This was such a team effort from everyone here tonight. But to guide all of them through this, what was that like?
I mean, Charlie to come on short rest was huge. We needed him too, and he stepped up for us. He gave us four big innings, and the bullpen came in and grinded and limited their runs, limited their rallies. It's just all game planning, and we have such a great team of game planners here. And I just put fingers down, but it's all them. They come up with the formulas and the numbers for me. So it takes a village.
Well, and I know we all know the kind of pitcher Hader is. When you're watching that AB by Freddie Freeman, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking get on base. You know, maybe Ozzie can drive him in, and first pitch he blasts it and saw the tongue come out. I knew it was gone right away. I mean, it's crazy. I still can't believe it happened.
There are superstars, and then there are Freddie Freeman, right?
Yes, exactly.
Travis, enjoy this one with the team. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
How can you not love baseball, and how can you not love the reaction of Travis d'Arnaud? Whoever said there's no crying is full of it, because the year that man has had, what he's gone through, the injuries, the celebration of a new baby, and being part of a team that has a chance to go deep in the playoffs, man, oh man, what a wonderful year for him, plus a new contract.
Yeah, you know, he means a lot to this team offensively, but also defensively, too. When you look at him right now, he's definitely playing hurt. And we saw a nice at-bat from him in this game, RBI single, but he's done a great job with the staff, too. Ever since he came back, BJ, you feel like the staff has really come together. We hear Max Fried talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
He praises d'Arnaud behind the plate. They work so well together. So, yes, he's very good at the plate. He came up big today, but behind the plate, he's been a massive, massive upgrade, too.
And that's the most important thing, because you need him to call a great game, be able to catch and throw. That's the most important thing that the Braves need right here. And I know he is hurt. Yes, his thumb is probably not where it needs to be. You can tell by his swings. But right now, we don't care about his offense. Even though he came through big today, we need him to catch. The chemistry is great with the starters with him. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, Travis made a good point. He talked about game planning. And in the postseason, it's huge. Everybody has a plan, and they go through it every single day. That way, when the game comes around, they don't think anymore. They've already done the thinking before, and that just shows you how valuable Travis is to this team.
You'll look at his line tonight, guys, and you'll see 1 hit, 1 big RBI, but he was on base 3 times.
Yeah.
Those walks, that ability to work counts, get the count deep, flip that lineup card over, and handle the staff. Those are hugely important factors in close games that we saw this entire series.
And the at-bat in the 4th inning was with 2 outs, the walk. 5-pitch walk, he's not chasing. And I think maybe when you look at his thumb and the injury, which I think obviously he doesn't look the same, but it's also allowing him to be a little bit more patient too. He hit a ball to the opposite field the other day, did it again today, not trying to do too much. So in those situations, BJ, that might be helpful because he backs it down a little bit. And in these pressure situations in the playoff, you have to be able to back that down mentally.
Yeah, the most important thing in winning ball games is putting the ball in play and finding the holes. And he knew the shift was on. He had all the right feel. And you're right. He shortened up his swing. He drove the ball the other way. Yeah, he's struggling. He can't hit for power right now, but he knows all I have to do is put the ball in play, and good things are going to happen.
And that's my question for you, Charlie. Look, Travis d'Arnaud was a silver slugger last year. This guy was one of the most fearsome hitters in the National League, a cleanup hitter. He's not the same guy right now. How hard is that to accept not only what you are, but accept what your role is within the context of a Braves team that has big aspirations again in 2021?
I think Travis, he's accepted that role. He knows, because he's got so many good players on this team that can pick him up. He doesn't have to carry it by himself. He can just go up there, put together a good at-bat, and the guy behind him is going to pick him up if something happens. So he knows what he has to do. He got that big hit the other way. Again, he is playing hurt, but you're not going to know that.
No.
You know, he's just going to keep grinding, keep calling a good game, and just winning is the name of the game right now. And this is what they want to keep doing.
Starting the game today for Atlanta was Charlie Morton. We know all about his postseason resume. We bragged on it this entire season. Games like this, games like Game 1 are why the Braves brought him to Atlanta. And to do what he did, guys, tonight on 3 days rest and grind out 3 1/3 innings was really, really remarkable.
Well, he hasn't started on 3 days rest since 2008. So he doesn't do it a lot, hardly at all in his career, but you know he wants to be in that situation. I think it fit perfectly, too, with Max Fried being available for Game 5 on regular rest. So your option was Charlie Morton and nobody else, in my opinion. I felt like Charlie was really good the first 3 innings. I love this stuff. Now, he was going to get tired, and BJ, we knew he was going to get tired. But at the same time, 5 punch-outs, he had 10 swings and misses, 3 hard-hit balls. And so he did his job, kept them in this ball game.
I'm sure, Charlie, you missed swinging at sliders and curveballs like Charlie Morton was tossing up there today.
No, thank you. No, thank you. We talked about that earlier. Nah, he's one of the best. I faced him when he was pitching like Roy Halladay back with the Pirates, and he's a little different now. But nah, he's fun to watch, man. I don't miss facing guys like him.
And BJ, from Milwaukee's perspective, when they knew Charlie Morton was coming out in Game 4, even though he was pitching on short rest, what is the mindset of the opposing team's offense, knowing what's potential with Charlie Morton on the mound facing you in a must-win game for Milwaukee?
Well, when Charlie Morton got the start and they knew it, yeah, those guys are worried a little bit because they knew it was going to not be easy. For one, they understand that every pitch matters, and for them, they're behind the 8 ball. They got to win. The pressure's all on them. So I think that was huge when Snick made the decision to start Charlie Morton. He went out there and gave his all. And at the end of the game, we were talking about that's the biggest smile I ever seen Charlie because he was relieved. Because, look, he lost a tough first game. And the last thing he wants to do is lose that second game. But they didn't. And he has another chance to continue to go out there and help this team win a championship. So the smiles were great. We hadn't seen it all year long from Charlie. I love it.
5-2 with a 2.25 ERA in postseason play since 2019. That dog will hunt, and his next start will come against either the Giants or the Dodgers in the NLCS, which will start Saturday, October the 16th. So you've heard enough from us for the moment. Let's send it back down on the field. Kelly Kroll and Paul Burt are standing by. Gang?
Well, thank you, Chip. Charlie, you're obviously our good luck charm. Bertie, we've got beside us Nick. BJ, I can't imagine what the battery is like right now. It's still hopping inside the park, Bertie. And I think we'd be burying the lead if we just didn't start this with Freddie Freeman. Josh Hader being asked for 6 outs tonight for the first time this season. And, well, when you've got elite going against elite, something's got to give. And tonight, Freddie Freeman showed exactly why he's superstar and face of this franchise.
Unbelievable. I don't exactly understand the Hader move, but I'll take it. And he was mowing people down. When Freddie Freeman hit that home run, I have never seen, and I've been covering the team for 8 years, Freddie Freeman this happy. He was smiling, going crazy, jumping and bumping guys in the dugout. The crowd was electric here. Thank you, Atlanta fans. An absolute joy to watch. A moment I will not forget for a long, long time.
Travis d'Arnaud saying after he saw the tongue come out, and that's when he knew it was over. He just knew. And you just love, Travis d'Arnaud, here's a guy behind the plate tonight, Bertie, that worked with Charlie Morton off the top for 3 1/3. And then if I'm not mistaken, 6 different relievers coming in. Where do you want to point out all the superstars tonight that did their job.
I want to point out that Travis Darno was hurt earlier this year, worked extremely hard, and we had catcher after catcher after catcher try to patch this season together. When he came back, he did a great job working with all the pitchers, Freed included, where he just gelled really, really well. Did it at the plate tonight, did a great job behind the plate, working that whole bullpen. That's something that's not going to show up in the box score. Travis Darno, a huge reason the Braves win this game.
Yeah, you think that was a big 2-out RBI single to tie the game for the second time tonight, and then Freddie Freeman did the rest. But there are so many, I feel like, moments in this game where you just felt, what a wild way to close out this series. And like you mentioned, this is a team that for half the season was just trying to tread water, keep their head above water, and here they are now headed to the NLCS. I just think that once again shows the resilience of this group, which is something, Brian Sidker, I feel like, just it's the foundation of what they're built on.
When Austin Riley walks up to the plate, they start chanting MVP. Let's not forget about the defensive play that he made in the first, seeing Ron Washington go nuts. That's not easy. This team is marked by adversity. This team is marked by guys like Austin Riley stepping up, Dansby Swanson having a great year, and guys like the superstars coming through, like Freeman, after it's been a tough year with losing some big players like Acuna Jr. We lose Soler a couple hours before this game starts. Could have changed the mood, doesn't. We say, hey, we're going to throw Dansby, we're going to lead him off. He doubles off the wall and the crowd goes nuts. And I'm like, this team is a survivor team, and I don't know where they're going to end up, but let's enjoy the moment. Wow.
Yeah, you jogged my memory in the sense of, like, Eddie Rosario tonight was asked before this game, were you surprised that you weren't in the starting lineup? Because instead, Brian Snitker going with the hot bat and Jock Peterson, who had the 3-run blast last night, and he said, no, I wasn't surprised. I'm here to do whatever it takes for this team to win. And Eddie Rosario came up big tonight with his pinch hit.
Absolutely. Line drive up the middle, just getting the job done. There's a defensive player up the middle, just over his head in front of center field. Absolutely beautiful. This game's about timing, getting the hits at the right time, coming through. We got a guy in the studio, Charlie Clutch Culberson, for a reason came through. A lot of the Braves players came through at the right time.
He's already clutch on the desk. His first night, and he's pulling off a win that sends his team to the NLCS? What?
May have to keep him around.
We might, Charlie. We might. We might be signing you up. And here's the deal. You and I, we're going to hang out here for a little while as the players finish up their celebration in the clubhouse, guys. No, we're going to hear from a few of the superstars on the podium. And then Bertie and I are back to work, getting all the interviews we can when the guys filter back out onto the field. So you send it back to the bunch, would you?
Do not change this channel in any way, shape, or form, because my partner, Kelly Kroll, promises to dive into the fountain in center field with the players.
Yeah, you really put me on the spot.
Be ready. Guys, back to you.
I can't wait to see that, Paul. In fact, I think that's a major league rule. Everybody's having a blast with the battery. You know why? The Braves just took down a 95-win team. They hope to take down a 100-plus win team in the next round, which is the National League Championship Series. It's coming back to Atlanta. Get your tickets at Braves.com/postseason. The Braves celebration is on tonight. They are off until this coming Saturday. But first, a photo for the ages. It's a team for the ages. They've overcome so much, and they overcame the Brewers tonight. Braves Live is brought to you by Landmark Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. By Xfinity X-Fi. Experience a powerful and secure Wi-Fi connection for all your devices. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Go green and save some too with G&G. A Freddie Freeman 8th inning home run, the deciding blow tonight. 5-4 Atlanta takes 3 out of 4 against the Brewers to win this division series. Let's go back down on the field at Truist Park. Paul Bird standing by with Austin Riley.
Austin Riley, every time he walks up to the plate, the crowd chants MVP. You had to make a team in spring training. You're going on to the next step. What's this feel like?
This is awesome. I mean, what this team has overcome kind of, throughout the season of the injuries and just, a lot of stuff going on to be able to be here. And the fans, the gallery. That last inning, my heart was pounding like no other. This is awesome. I'm glad we could do it.
Have you ever seen Freddie Freeman so happy?
To me, he's the MVP. I mean, golly. I mean, he brings it every day. He's the perfect definition of a professional baseball player.
Shout out to you on that defensive play in the first on the barehanded ground ball.
I kind of lost it there for a second, and I knew it was going to have some sideways spin on it. I knew, he's a fast runner, so I knew that was my only chance. It was a big out, and Charlie, he did a great job tonight.
You lose Soler early. Character of this team is bouncing back. What was it like in that locker room when you found out the news? Dansby goes into the one hole, and you guys continue to get the job done.
I think that just says, a lot of things about a lot of good things about this team. That was a big hit. Like I said, we're used to it this year. A lot of big hits to us. Heredia stepping up, Dansby stepping up in the one hole. That was big.
I'll let you go celebrate. Thanks for your time.
I think the point Austin Riley just made is worth repeating. It's really remarkable what this team has endured this year. At one point, they lost their number 1, their number 3, their number 4 hitter, their number 1A and 1B starter. They lost Huascar Ainoa, who was on his way to the All-Star game, perhaps. They lost their starting catcher for half the season, yet here they are plugging guys in day after day and finding a way to get it done like they did tonight.
It's crazy because a lot of people wrote them off, and they thought, no way they're making it to the playoffs, no way they're getting there and advancing past the first round. You had to win the division if you're the Braves to get this thing done. They won the division. They played great baseball in the second half, and when you can do that, you can get your team to gel together at the right time. That's what's most important. Now, when we look at the character of the team, we know these guys want to win. We talk about Will Smith. Sometimes it's not pretty ninth inning, but he wants it more than anybody. Charlie Morton's one of those guys who wants to go out there short rest. He wants it more than anything. Freddie Freeman's come up huge. Austin Riley. This team is full of winners and great guys, and when they gel together at the right time with the talent that they have, this is what you see.
Well, and again, tonight, they lost Jorge Soler, who'd been a remarkably good leadoff hitter for this team hours before first pitch. Guys, Dansby Swanson, not really comfortable hitting at the top of the order, jumps in, leadoff double to start the game, and, of course, makes all the plays defensively.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to Alex Anthopoulos, too, for making the deadline trades, building the minor league system up to be prepared to come into these situations and win. We saw Pache come up at the last minute because of Soler's injury. He's ready to play. You saw Contreras get in that bat tonight to give him more experience. You talk about chemistry and camaraderie. This team has been up and down all season long, but in the second half of the season, like you said, they gelled and they're having fun. And they have each other's back. Regardless of how Will Smith gets it done, his teammates are behind him 110%. And that's what matters, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a team with a bunch of veterans, they're here to win. Again, 4 years in a row, they win the division. These guys want it. They want it bad. They're behind each other. Everybody can come in and be themselves, too. That's the thing. You got Jock coming in. I love Jock Peterson. He's rocking pearls now. They are being themselves, and that's what good teams do. Everyone just kind of does what they need to do, pass the baton, keep going. And you see how they're celebrating tonight. They love it. They want it.
We're a little disappointed you didn't bring your pearls tonight, Charlie, but maybe in time for the LCS. One quick question. All three of you guys played for more than one team. All these guys that came to the Braves got second chances this season to go from teams that weren't going anywhere to a team that has a chance to do something special. There's an extra added incentive, but also some pressure in that too, isn't there, Nick?
I think there is, and especially you look at a guy like Soler. I mean, what do you expect from him? He was struggling coming in Kansas City, not doing very well. How does he get out of that? How does he get a fresh start? I'll tell you one thing that I think helps is once you change leagues, that scoreboard resets. So the average goes away. You feel better about where you are, but you're also getting a chance to play, and that's the most important thing with those guys. Can they do it every day? Absolutely, they can do it every day. Eddie Rosario, a guy that really fit in well when he came off the IL. Is he starting all the time? He wasn't. But then he comes off the bench. He does well. Then he becomes a starter, plays well. We saw him come off the bench today. He come up with a big hit. But I think the thing is, like you said, Charlie, you come to this organization, you feel good about where you're coming for one because you're competing, and you had the right leadership to it. I always go back to Brian Snicker and what he does with his clubhouse, and then Freddie Freeman all trickles down. Yeah, Freddie leads by example. I mean, he's not the vocal leader all the time, but then you got guys like Pablo Sandoval who comes in and he has the panda, the hat, and the dugout. Yeah. And then they got swords. Like I'm playing this year, watching some highlights, and you got swords in the dugout after home runs. Like, this is a fun team. Like, I was fortunate to be here for 3 years. That's a fun clubhouse, and those guys love each other, and they deserve this, and rooting for them.
It's the oldest adage in sports, winning is fun, and Eddie Rosario had some tonight. Loved his reaction after his 2-run single. It was a big, big blow in this ball game, and Eddie Rosario, one of those new guys, one of those new productive guys, is standing by with Kelly.
Well, Eddie, what a ride so far. Big moment for you tonight. We talked to you before the game, and you said, I just want to help this team win. How does it feel to do that?
I feel awesome. I feel awesome. It's my first time I passed the playoff for the next step. Feel great. It's awesome for me, for real.
What's it like with this team right now that when you came over, they were just trying to get a roll going, and now you guys are headed to the NLCS?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. The guy, the outfielder, and me, I try to help this team. I think I'm doing a good job. The other guys, everybody's ready now to win more games and go to the World Series.
World Series, one step before that one, game by game, I'm sure. But I want to go back to the hit that won this one tonight. What are you thinking when you're watching Freddie Freeman step up to the plate against Josh Hader?
I love this moment. I love this moment. I don't panic. I am ready for this moment. I'm waiting this moment. I'm doing a good job. I celebrate to everybody, to the fans. I see Freddie, to the manager, everybody happy. I take the game. But it's an awesome night.
Who sets the tone in the celebration? Be honest. Is it still Heredia?
Yeah.
Well, I know you've got your dad here tonight. What does it mean to be celebrating with family here?
It's so proud of me, my family too, everybody in Puerto Rico is very proud. Everybody watch the Braves right now. I'm fan now in Puerto Rico to the Braves. It's awesome.
Plenty of room on that bandwagon. Eddie, thank you so much. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Great job, Kelly. Braves Live Postseason Edition follows every Braves postseason game, and we will continue on to the National League Championship Series beginning Saturday, October the 16th. Join us on Bally Sports South, Bally Sports Southeast, and of course on the Bally Sports app. Milwaukee jumped in front 2-0. Eddie Rosario in the 4th inning took care of that. Went down, combed it into center field. Look at his reaction. A 2-run hit tied the game. A game the Braves later won on a Freddie Freeman 8th inning homer, 5-4. And we continue from a lively Battery Atlanta after another break. The celebration is on in the Atlanta locker room as Braves Live is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, by Cook's Pest Control. You don't have to live with pests. And by Visit Mississippi. Wanderers are welcome. The Braves await the Giants or the Dodgers. They subdue the Brewers 5-4 in Game 4. They win this best-of-5 series 3-1. And they have 3 days off before they take on their next opponent. Brian Snicker, the architect for Atlanta, standing by with Kelly.
I'm just so thrilled for you, too, because I mean, you talk about your restless nights and the decisions of even this series alone.
Oh, no.
This has got to be so rewarding.
It is. It's so, these are so hard to do. And, just to go back to the NLCS and try it another time, but just, and this, it never gets old here now, obviously but just from what these guys went through this year, what we went through as a team. We lost our right fielder an hour before the game. Today. I told Alex, I was like, don't worry, it ain't going to, you know, I hate that he's not here right now. I hate it. But I knew these guys were going to continue to fight the fight. Didn't matter, man. It's just next man up, and I'm so proud of this whole group. It's awesome.
You weren't lying, and why would you think anything else? They've done it all year long.
All year.
And what was the roller coaster of this game like, though, for you? Down 2, tied, down 2, tied?
Yeah, no. I was just like, you know, Charlie went out. He took the ball, was throwing great, too. God, he did a great job. You know, they got a couple of big hits. Then we roared back. You know, Eddie had a big hit there in the inning. Travis, all of them. I mean, it's just, you know what? I guess you wouldn't want it any other way. This is, and have Freddie hit a homer off probably the best closer in the game, really. And, yeah, it was like, just couldn't happen any better. It's unbelievable.
That's how the best stories are made, right?
I know, you're right. This is, you know what? And it's I mean, I told the guys, you know, we got 2 more of these. So, you know, we'll take tomorrow off and kind of catch our breath and get back to work on Thursday. See where we go, or if we stay here or what. So, yeah, we don't know. But we're resilient, and we'll adapt, and be awesome.
Kind of nice to have that time just to sort of think about it a little and then get ready.
No, usually it's a brief think about and feel good, but you know what it is. I'm proud of it. It's just so proud of the organization and Alex and what he's done, you know. Happy for his family, too.
We joke about this a little bit, you probably more than any, but like if someone told you in June, this is where you would be now standing in October, what would you have said?
I'm going to be honest with you. It had been hard to look forward where we were in June and envision this, quite honestly, where we were. You know, the guys were fighting hard and playing hard and, you know, doing, you know, they just kept fighting. And then we had some guys drop in here on us, and man, we just kind of kept going. But I, you know, you just never know. I kept thinking all year, you know, I said for 4.5 months or 5 months or whatever, it's like I just keep waiting for us to go on a little run. I mean, we're due, held out hope. We did. We got in first, never let it go, and good God, we're going to the NLCS. It's awesome. It's awesome.
The best time for that run to come in October, guys.
I know, right? It is. It's great. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Right,
I know Ronnie's here. The kids.
Yeah, they're there right there. They wouldn't miss it. They get some goggles, and they have a ball doing it. It's awesome.
He's such a wonderful, genuine man. Can't be happier than anybody for Brian Snitker, who has advanced to the next round of the postseason. They await the winner of the Giants and the Dodgers. Dodgers are currently winning their game tonight. And as Brian alluded to, if the Dodgers end up winning that series, the Braves would get home field advantage for the LCS because they were a division winner and the Dodgers are a wild card team. So keep that in mind as that series may be pointing toward 5 games. The Astros eliminated the White Sox, and maybe surprisingly, guys, the Red Sox knocked off Tampa Bay, a 100-win team. Could be a couple of 100-win teams knocked out of the playoffs this year, Nick Green.
It's crazy. I mean, when you look at those series, they've all been fun. They've all been good. Same thing with this series. You know these things are going to be close. People are going to come up with big hits in these situations. It's happened all throughout baseball. Now, when we look at who the Braves are going to face in the next round, I hope that series goes 5 games and they face San Fran. I feel like they're a better matchup against San Fran. If the Dodgers come into town, it just feels like, yeah, they have home field advantage, but the Dodgers have been there, done it. I feel like they might have a little bit of advantage on the Braves. I just want that series to go 5, and I want San Fran to win, BJ.
Yeah, I think, in my personal opinion, I would love to play the Giants rather than the Dodgers because, you know, the Dodgers are stacked, and they face the Braves pitchers enough, especially in playoffs. We saw it last year. 1 game away from the World Series, and the Dodgers come back and win 3 in a row. So they have that type of potential, and they have a really good lineup. But, yeah, they've been injured a lot. You look at that starting rotation that they have with Max Scherzer added. You know, they're a pretty dangerous team, but don't count San Francisco out. They have a great team, and so far I think they own the Dodgers. So I'm thinking that if it goes Game 5 in San Francisco is going to win.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to be tough, and it's going to be a fun matchup regardless. Dodgers, though, a little revenge, right? Coming back.
That would be kind of fun.
A little revenge. I mean, Max Scherzer, they've faced them how many times already? Like, they know Max. Unfortunately for Kirsch, I love Kirsch, but he's out. That's a Hall of Famer right there that's not going to be pitching. So, I mean, either team, it'll be a fun matchup, but I think Dodgers, they got some revenge there, and home field advantage.
That's the key.
Truist Park will be rocking.
You talk to every fan in Atlanta, they want revenge on the Dodgers, believe me.
Well, we've done our part. Now we'll see who comes out on top out west. The Battery's still rocking. Don't forget, NLCS tickets are now on sale. Get them while they're hot, and they are going to be a hot ticket for either 3 or 4 games here in Atlanta. Don't know how many. Find out at Braves.com/postseason as your Braves knock off the Brewers in 4 games to win the NLDS tonight in Atlanta. Our Braves Live postseason coverage continues from the Battery Atlanta. We have more as we chop down the Brewers in Game 4 tonight in Atlanta. Crowd celebrates in Atlanta. Braves knock off the Milwaukee Brewers. And Braves Live is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Truist, BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist. We're now headed to the NLCS. Braves knock off the Brewers in 4 games. Crowd outside the ballpark at the Battery Live enjoyed it. A Freddie Freeman homer, the difference. Freddie Freeman, by the way, the only left-hand hitter in Major League Baseball to hit 2 homers against Josh Hader. And number 2 came at a perfect time tonight. If you're just joining us, Chip Carey, Nick Green, Brian Jordan, Charlie Clutch came up big again for the Braves. His first appearance on television. He's 1-0. And here's how we got there. It's a critical Game 4. Braves didn't want to go back to American Family Field in Milwaukee. And a big matchup. Charlie Morton on the mound for the Braves, hoping on short rest to get the job done for Atlanta. And the Milwaukee Brewers, well, they didn't start Corbin Burns tonight. A little bit of a wild card for Greg Counsell tonight.
Eric Lauer was good, though.
Yeah.
And he had been good going into this start. I felt like he was the guy that you should have started in this situation. They did, too. Now they had a short leash. That guy right there.
Hey,
I mean,
that set the tone for the game. That set the tone for the game.
Get a bigger shirt first.
Yeah, he had spider tack. Let's go to the 4th inning.
Yeah, and I thought Charlie Morton threw the ball well the first 3. He's now fastball in. Nice piece of hitting by Garcia. A bullet to left field. Charlie tries to pick him off, which I thought was a bit interesting. Error, then ends up walking Urias on 5 pitches. Nice piece of hitting by Navarez going the other way at a 2-strike count. That ends up scoring Garcia. That was the first run of the ball game. Short leash for Charlie Morton as well because he was on short day's rest. So who comes in this game? Jesse Chavez comes in this game. Yes, he gave up a hit to Lorenzo Cain. Lorenzo Cain is an absolute stud, so it doesn't surprise you in these situations that it shouldn't. A base hit up the middle, but that was the only run that he gave up, which was huge too.
And those were the first 2 hits with runners in scoring position for the Brewers in this series. The Braves have really done a great job. But then it goes to the bottom of the 4th, BJ and Rosario.
How about it? Bases loaded. Hunter Strickland comes in the ball game, and here come Rosario comes up. He gets a fastball inside. He drives it to center field. 2-run score here. Eddie Rosario coming up huge. Look at Darno run around and score that 2nd run, showing his speed. Oh, man, I love the old chop. And now in the 5th inning, to Noah.
Yeah, he didn't look that good. I mean, yeah, you thought this might be a good spot for him in the bullpen, but the slider wasn't there, Charlie. A hanger right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do with those pitches, right? Big moment, postseason. Rowdy's a big guy up there. Already got a big homer for them. But slider just up over the middle of the plate, just kind of spun, hit it a long way.
So this Braves team had to be resilient all year. Again, they lost Jorge Soler to the COVID list before Game 4. Jock Peterson got the start for Atlanta. An RBI fielder's choice in the bottom of the 5th inning made it a 1-run game, and then Travis d'Arnaud came up big.
How about Travis d'Arnaud? He gets a curveball up in the zone, and he doesn't try to do too much with it. RBIs on the base paths, just put it in play, go the other way, and that's what Travis d'Arnaud did. Forget about that thumb. He's getting it done.
But as we said, this series might come down to Hader versus Freeman, and it did.
Oh, my goodness, BJ.
Oh, yes, it did. And here we go. Yeah! Freddie Freeman straight away center field. Man, he is my hero. He is my MVP. He continues to get it done. You gotta love Freddie Freeman.
Hey, I don't care if he doesn't win the MVP of the league. This dude is so important for this team. That situation, you see that reaction, Chip. You don't see that from Freddie much, and you got it there.
Fell a triple shy of the cycle, by the way, in a hugely important game. And Will Smith, what can you say? 3 saves in the 3 Braves wins.
Man, what can you say? This guy gets it done, Charlie. Every time. It may be stressful, but he gets it done.
No, he's a Bulldog. Go back to Freddie. Pay the man. Brave for life, man. Pay the guy. Brave for life. We love Freddie.
And those celebrations never get old, do they?
Oh,
no.
I miss it.
So here's part of the game you miss, the celebration.
BJ and I will never get to do it again, so.
No, Charlie can.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I want
game
to.
Summary
I want
presented
to.
by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Tyler Matzik got the win. The Braves bullpen again, 14 2/3 on 2-run ball in the 4 games of this series. That was hugely important. Charlie Morton rarely pitches on 3 days rest. Very efficient, very effective. Freddie Freeman, 3 hits. Rosario, the big RBI, and the Braves advance.
I just love the fact these guys in these situations don't panic. That's what experience does for you. Freddie Freeman obviously is one of those guys that you expect to come up in those situations. Well, Eddie Rosario, how about the pinch hit for him coming off the bench, started the first 3 games. He wasn't starting today, comes up with a big 2-strike hit. If they don't score that run to tie the game, or those 2 runs to tie the game in the 4th inning, I think the ball game's changed. Now you give Milwaukee a bunch of momentum, and Eric Lauer in that situation could end up going a little bit deeper. You never know, but give the Braves some credit. I felt like they had really good at-bats in the right situations.
Well, this game swung back and forth a number of times. Heck, this whole series did. It was really a great series, especially with the Braves coming out on top. And as you guys alluded to, what can you say about the job that Alex Anthopoulos did for the Braves, not just at the trade deadline, but getting this team put together to be in position to try to repeat and get back to the NLCS and beyond? He's standing by with Kelly Kroll.
Alex, the fans that are still standing here, they're chanting your name now too. Have you had a chance to process what this team's done?
I haven't. Just this game was crazy in so many levels, and it's amazing. Back-to-back years to get to the CS. Just what we've been through the entire year to be here, the fans, the support. What an incredible game. I'm just so excited for Atlanta, for the players, for the families. It's amazing.
You can tell. Is there one thing you can point at that you're most proud right now in this group with the accomplishments given all that they have overcome this year?
You know what? I was talking to Max Fried inside, and I think my kids want to get on TV.
Absolutely.
So this
Congratulations.
This is Julia and John. You guys gonna say anything?
Hi. Hi, John. Hi. What, you guys got Go Braves?
They got pearls. They got pearls.
Oh, yeah.
They got pearls. They both got pearls. They both got pearls. My wife's all over it. But I talked to Max when we won, and we just had a real serious talk for a moment about the quality of the people in the clubhouse. And, you know, we've been through so much adversity, but the group is so strong and so tight. And he's like, you know what, we're going to potentially win the whole thing with this kind of group. And we talk about it all the time. It's important. And it's hard to quantify, but when guys like Max and the other players see it, that's the most rewarding part of this.
You mentioned Max Fried. You also made it a point to sign Charlie Morton before this year was over. To see what he did tonight on short rest and just the tone and what it means to the other guys when he's ready to come out there and give it whatever he has left.
Incredible. I mean, I had a moment on the field with both Charlie and Max, and what Charlie did, and we didn't have to talk him into it. He wanted to do it. He wanted to pitch. He was available. It's incredible. And I told him I felt a sense of obligation. When he chose to come here, I felt a sense of obligation that we needed to get to the playoffs for him. You know, he's not playing for the dollars. He's not playing for anything other than the ability to win and win a championship. And the fact that he came to us and we were able to advance and we're starting to go deep into the postseason, that's rewarding as well, because there might not be a better human being in the game than Charlie Morton.
Alex, you're already losing your voice, so I feel like I'm going to cut this.
It's gone. Screaming and yelling, and it's been incredible. I'm really glad that I did.
Absolutely. You enjoy the rest of the night. Have fun. I love the pearls. They're working. Keep them on. You don't have to bathe or anything, right, Dad?
That's right. Go Braves. Right? What do you say?
Let's go Braves! Go Braves! Back to you guys. Way to go!
Way to go, Kelly. That's another thing to love about this organization. Yeah, it's about winning baseball games, but it really is a family atmosphere. It starts with Brian Snitker. You see the kids of Alex Anthopoulos having a ball. That's hugely important, too. It really is a close-knit bunch, and it's not just about the stats, the analytics, and the wins and losses here.
Well, they care about everybody. And that's the thing. Like, when you're a player, if you know the front office, Alex Anthopoulos, example, Charlie Morton, he cares about him. He wants to win for Charlie Morton. When he came over, he said, our obligation is to win so Charlie can get there. That's what it's all about. But I've played on teams, guys, where I didn't feel like they were behind me, the front office behind me, the coaches were behind me. You don't get the most out of the players like that. This organization cares about their players. Snitker, Anthopoulos, all the coaches, Washington, you've been with these guys. It's from the top down. That's how teams come together.
Well, the great thing about Alex Anthopoulos, he's so transparent. I mean, he's not afraid to speak his mind and tell you exactly what's going on. And that's what I love about him. As a player, you trust the GM like that. You know he has your back. You know he's going to be honest with you straight. He's going to tell you your role. And that's all you want as a player, to know where I stand on this team, where do I fit, and let's go out there and win and trust one another. And that's what he's built here in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think transparent's a good word for Alex. I've gotten to know Alex really well with the Dodgers. He helped me come to the Braves in a trade. We got to be pretty close. I mean, he's going to pick up the phone and call you and talk to you and ask you questions, ask your opinion on things about the team, about other players. Alex is doing a great job over here. I was thankful for the opportunity, but I'm super happy for him and all the guys here and rooting for each and every one of them.
Yeah, sometimes those conversations, as transparent as they may be, are not easy conversations to have, right? I mean,
I've been on both ends.
There's living proof right here.
That's part of it.
Well,
I don't want to relive those.
Yeah, well, let's not. Let's not. Here's what we want to relive. Kelly Kroll with Dansby Swanson had a big part of this Braves winning this series. Kelly?
Dansby Swanson, home run record for shortstops. He's a great player. We all know that. I still say he's one of the most underrated players because he does everything so well. The defense, the offense, the hustle, the positioning, and even diving into second, tearing up your nose.
Yeah, it got the best of me. I'm not going to lie, but I got to keep telling everybody Mal loves me for the man I am, so I'm thankful for that. But, you know, he's trying to make a play, and got a little battle scar from it, so.
You grew up down the street. What's it like to be part of this, see this crowd go nuts, and be going to the next level in postseason?
Yeah, every time they get into the game the way they do, it's an emotional thing just because it's such a beautiful moment having everybody in Atlanta here together, you know, after the same thing we're after, right? And you know, when they kind of do the chop with no music, I feel like it always brings a little bit of a tear to my eye. But the fans really showed out this week. Like I've always said, Atlanta's my home. You know, this is what I call home. I love being able to be here. It's just such a blessing that God orchestrated. You know, I didn't know what was happening when I got traded in the beginning. But God always works things for good, and here I am when I couldn't be more thankful.
Soler goes down, all of a sudden you're leading off. What goes through your mind? And out of the gate, you hit a double.
I think it's just been kind of the tale of our season, right? You know, just people go down, we need other people to step up. We've dealt with a lot of adversity this year. And it was just it was an unfortunate blow because he's been such a big part of our second half. The at-bats that he's been able to put together, the plate discipline, the power, all those things, he's been tremendous for us. So if I've learned one thing, in that situation, I can't go try and be him. I just got to continue to be myself and trust the work that I do to be able to be prepared for those moments. And, you know, kind of was able to set the tone early today. And then, we're thankful to be here, man.
Last one, for people that couldn't chest bump and hug Freddie Freeman in the dugout, what was that feeling like?
It was one of the cooler moments in my professional career. It's kind of hard to put into words. There's somebody that means so much to this place, means so much to this organization, and to be able to come through in a big-time spot like that, that's what superstars do, and he never gets the credit he deserves. I feel like that's kind of the story of his career. You know, he's just been underrated, and people have never really given him his due, but he stepped up, and I'm just glad that he's on our team. We've been able to grow such a relationship over the past 5 years that I'm blessed to call him a friend, and I'm just glad that he's our first baseman.
Speaking for all of Atlanta, I want to say thank you for the hustle, the defense, the homers, the dives into second base. Way to go.
Great year for Dansby Swanson, 27 home runs, franchise record for a shortstop. Got to work on the head first slide a little bit, but he's got 3 days to work on it, right?
Yeah, he does. But, you know, when you look at him and his big body of work, yeah, the 27 home runs are there. That's huge for a shortstop. But how good has he been defensively?
Yeah.
You go back to yesterday's game. Yeah, he was solid today, but yesterday's game, and Ian Anderson in a big jam, second and third, infield halfway, and he makes a diving play to keep them in the game.
Right.
That's a winning player. And Dansby Swanson is that guy. Even if he doesn't succeed with a bat in a certain game, he's going to give you everything he has in the field, too.
And that's what I love about him. When his offense is not going good, he steps it up defensively. He gets it done. And to me, that's the most important thing. You got to have great defense up the middle. And Dansby Swanson has been phenomenal all season long, making plays that I don't think a lot of guys can make. And to me, he continues to get better defensively. That's the crazy thing about him. He has so much potential, and he's still growing as a player.
Yeah, I love watching Dansby. He wants to be the guy. He is the guy for the Braves. I hope Dansby's here for a long time, and he's got Wash in his back pocket over there. I love Wash. We all love Wash. The man loves what he does. He holds you accountable, and I think he's been great for this team. He was great for me here. But, yeah, always rooting for Dansby. I love seeing these guys do well, and, yeah, love it.
I got to put you on the spot.
Come on.
Who's got better hair, you or Dansby?
What do you say?
You're here. I'll say you. I'm no dummy. Great 8th inning offensively. Great 9th inning for the Braves pitching staff. Freddie Freeman, Will Smith. Go ahead, Homer. The 9th inning save there at the podium.
In those type of situations, like against him, in my whole career, I just kind of look location against him. He throws all his heaters up, so was I looking for an O slider up? No. I was just kind of looking up, and, you know, he threw 3 straight sliders to Dansby, so I just kind of looked up and away in a location, and he threw it there, and I was able to get it.
Mark?
Freddie, were you even thinking about that homer in 2019 when you go up there?
No.
But do you build off of that? I mean, in terms of
No, I kind of like the at bat I had against him in Milwaukee. I saw him pretty well. You know, I mean, I don't know if you can see Hader very well, but I was able to work a walk and work a full count and fouled off of heater 3-2. So I saw some pitches and felt, you know, comfortable enough to work a walk, but in that situation, I'm just trying to get on base against him. If I had to work another walk, I was going to try and do it. But, you know, 3 straight sliders to Dansby, and he threw a couple to Eddie. So he was kind of, you know, I didn't know if he was going slider happy, but I just kind of looked up and away to keep me from swinging at the slider down and away. And luckily he threw one up there.
Gabe?
Freddie, can you just take us inside your mind as you're rounding the bases?
There wasn't much going on. I was just hoping I didn't fall over. I had a lot of cool moments in my career, but so far I think that's going to top them right there. But hopefully that's not the last cool one. You know, I got a couple more in these playoffs.
David?
Freddie, what's it been like for you guys to be able to clinch the division at home and then clinch tonight and you hear the chants and all that?
Yeah, a lot better at clinching to go to the NLCS in front of our home fans instead of last year with no fans. So this was well worth it. You know, they came out and supported us on a 1 o'clock on a Monday yesterday, and they came out in full force again tonight. Just unbelievable atmosphere. They scored 2 runs. We came back with 2. They scored another 2. We came back. Kind of testament of our team the last 3-4 years. Just a pretty amazing ball game. Losing Jorge a couple hours before first pitch, and you know, just kind of pile it on us this year. You know, but this team showed its resiliency and just came back and, you know, put up a great game.
And Will, one other question: how gratifying has it been for the bullpen to come through like you guys have in this? I think the only 2 runs were off Inoa, who's a starter, you know, making his first bullpen appearance.
Yeah, you know, we always say bend but don't break down there, and I feel like we did a pretty good job of working through traffic when we got some guys on and just, you know, never really giving in and staying with Travie and the game plan the whole time, and, you know, the guys behind us making plays.
Jeff?
Freddie, like you talked about, you've had a lot of big moments here these last few years. What was it about that home run at that moment that really stood out to you?
Well, we're going to the NLCS, and that kind of stood out. You know, this team, we was, kind of down all year, just trying to tread water, playing 500 baseball, and Alex went out at the deadline and got us some guys, and it's a whole different team in the second half. I think we played 600-plus winning percentage baseball in the second half, so we've been feeling pretty good about ourselves, and that they just fought back, and to get that home run in that moment, and Will coming down to shut it down, that's kind of a top moment for me.
And Will, when you're in the bullpen, they're warming up. I don't know if you're throwing at that moment, whatever, but you see Freddie coming up. What thoughts are going through your mind at all?
I had that inning regardless, tied at home. I was going in, and then you see Freddie clip one, and it's now you really got a job to get done. So you kind of lock it in, and here we go, and follow Travi in the game plan.
Todd.
Will, what was it like in the bullpen in general having Charlie pitch on short rest? So you kind of know you guys are going to get leaned on. Was anything said down there? Any extra, you were lacking adrenaline, but just the feel of the bullpen, knowing that you're maybe 5-6 guys are going to pitch today?
We kind of know that going into any game, whenever the starter comes out, it's our time to work. Whether we've got a lead or we don't have a lead, guys need to go out there and put up zeros, and we try our hardest. So, yeah, it was a regular day down there. We were ready to work, just waiting for the phone to ring.
And what's it like coming in from the bullpen now that you see him hit that home run and your music's playing? And
It's nice. We got a 1-run lead. Let's do it.
Allison.
Freddie, can you give me a little bit of a picture of what the celebration was like, and what did Snicker say to you guys in the clubhouse afterwards?
To be honest, I have no idea what Brian said.
I don't think you can say it out loud.
Yeah. I think he stopped himself because there was a swear word or two, but just the pure joy, in that clubhouse, that's everything we've worked for since February, is to get to the playoffs and then keep moving on. So I don't know if there's really, I could repeat or remember anything. It was just, we were just so happy in the locker room, and seeing Snit started off the little speech, and then the champagne starts going everywhere, eyes burning. It's a good feeling.
Freddie, you told me, in the regular season finale, you took a second to enjoy the moment. You didn't have to do that tonight. No. How nice is it just to create that, another special moment?
It's nice. These are the things that when I'm done playing, hopefully a long, long time from now, that I'll be able to look back and, kind of remember this moment. And it's special. This is what you dream of when you're a kid, or you really do, hitting a homer to clinch a playoff. And for it to happen, it's kind of amazing. It really is. So it's kind of hard to put into words right now. It's still so fresh, but it's luckily we don't have to talk about that other part yet.
Well, this is certainly a season that Freddie Freeman's not going to ever forget. 2 new babies at home, coming off an MVP season. An awful first 5 weeks of the season, but boy, did he turn it on when the Braves needed it most.
Well, you saw the look on his face when he had the home run, right?
Yes.
Did we ever see that early on?
Nope.
He said there was no reason for me to be happy. I wasn't playing well. Well, all of a sudden, things flip, and he's playing great baseball. Well, he hit 300 on the season, and that's not what we expected. Today, the base hits were exactly the way Freddie Freeman draws them up, BJ. He's always hustling, so he gets the hustle double in the third inning, then a base hit on fastball up with 2 strikes, shooting it the other way. What does that set him up for? The home run.
Yes, it did. A lefty on lefty. He knows how good Hader is, but he's so confident it doesn't matter. And Hader put it into place where he just deposited straight away center field. Freddie Freeman picked this team up today in a really good game.
That's bottled up energy right there.
Yeah,
That's bottled up. Freddie is so stoic all the time. Nothing phases him. And to see that come out like it did right there, that's unbelievable. But that's what happens. Guys like Freddie, they have great swings. Freddie gets a lot of we'll say some cheap hits because that's a result of a good swing and a good approach. And then he doesn't really look for pitches. He looks for a strike. That's what Freddie always talks about, looking for a strike. And that's what he gave him.
But how good are you? He's 1 for 8 in the series with 4 walks coming in.
Right.
So he was still walking, but he wasn't himself. What does he do? He goes to the drawing board. I've got to start driving the ball that way. I have to think about it. I have to focus on it. And then today you get results out of that. That's how Freddie Freeman operates. He never takes a day off. He's always trying to get better, and the results continue to come. And that's why he doesn't ever go in that deep, deep valley. He just continues to get it done on a daily basis.
What a trademark hit. He always wants to hit a line drive over the shortstop's head. Well, he hit it over the shortstop and the center fielder's head into the seats for a 5-4 Braves victory. So, our postseason show continues tonight. It will continue into the National League Championship Series. After each and every one of them, we will join you from the Battery here in Atlanta on Valley Sports South, Valley Sports East, and, of course, on the Valley Sports app. We hope you'll join us for the NLCS against the Dodgers or the Giants. The Braves are in. We'll see who they play in the days ahead. Braves win and advance over Milwaukee. 5-4 is your final score in Game 4 of the series. Jock Peterson had a brilliant start to this NLDS. He was 3 for 3 with a couple of home runs coming into play tonight. He added an RBI in the Braves' 5-4 win. And the man with that beautiful pearl necklace is standing by with Kelly Kroll.
Jock, we had a lot of fun doing this last time, but it's got to be a little sweeter now headed to the NLCS.
Yeah, it's special, you know, great group of guys. I'm just glad I could be a part of it and enjoy the ride.
What are you enjoying the most with this group?
I think we've got punched in the face a few times, knocked down, but we come together and find a way to claw back into it. And it's a new person every night coming up with a big hit, and it's a fun thing to be a part of.
It's a wild game tonight. I think down to tied, down to again, tied again, and then Freddie Freeman, you're watching him against one of the best in the game. What are you thinking when you hear that sound?
Yeah, if you want to be the best, you got to clip the best, and Freddie did that. So there's no better time. So tip your hat to Freddie, put the team on his back. That was epic.
Is there any telling how far this group can go?
Sky's the limit, baby. Sky's the limit.
He's a beauty. 3 hits in the series, 2 of them home runs. And, Charlie, one thing we've seen about Jock Peterson, he's not afraid of the big moment. 11 career October home runs in his playoff career, including a couple with the Braves. What is that moment like, and what's the mindset like when you come up in a situation like Jock has so many times, both with the Cubs, the Braves, and now the Dodgers?
Yeah, I mean, what did Jock say? Something about he's a good baseball player?
Yeah.
Jocktober. No, Jock's confident. He knows that he's good. He's been in this situation plenty of times. He's got, 11 or 12 home runs in the postseason. Jock's got the swag. He knows what he's doing. He's been there, done that, and that's going to help this Braves team moving forward.
Well, the sky is the limit, baby.
Sky's the limit.
Man. He is so cool.
I like that. If we don't have a Pearls giveaway before this playoff series ends, we got a real problem. Another guy with some swag is Ozzie Albies. He's standing by on the field. Andrew Jones is there as well. Let's join them.
Here with Ozzie Albies, Andrew Jones, future Hall of Famer. I need your rated G version. How fired up are you right now with this win?
Really fired up. We're so happy we got this win.
This guy to the left of you, I know that you're a big fan going up. What's it mean to see him standing next to you?
He's been cheering us on every night. I saw him all the time in the crowd. It's everything we need. Him and Chipper, we saw them every night here. It's huge.
I'm going to let you hold the microphone and interview him. The question is, how excited are you to know that you're still relevant and Braves players love seeing you in the crowd?
What happened? Say that again. Say it again. Say it again.
How excited are you to know that you're still relevant to the young guys? They love seeing you in the crowd.
Well, I mean, I'm part of the Braves. I mean, always going to be a Braves. These moments are always fun. And they don't never get old. So I still feel like I'm part of him. I follow the team very close every game, and not bad to win it in front of your crowd.
How about the defense that this guy plays at second base?
He should be winning a Gold Glove last year, so I'm looking forward to handing him one this year.
Your buddies, your great infield, the play that Riley made, Dansby's unbelievable. You are unbelievable, but Freddie Freeman tonight, his moment at the end of the game, what's going through your all's minds in that dugout?
It was everything. As soon as he hit that ball, I was screaming, yes, we're going to go out there. You have to go. You have to go. And he sure did it. He had every inch, everything behind that ball for it to go, to carry the team today to win this ball game. It was huge. And, I mean, I hugged him after we won, and I said, thank you so much for doing that. That's what I told him.
I love it. Go celebrate with your friends. Thank you for the interview. Way to go.
I love watching that little guy play. He's got this interview thing down now. He's improved on that in the last couple of days. And hopefully we'll be interviewing Ozzie a lot in the NLCS, which will get started on Saturday, October 16th. Braves postseason tickets continue to be on sale. Go to Braves.com. Don't know who will play. Don't know where Game 1 will be. We just know the Braves are going to be there somehow, some way. And it'll be against either the Giants or the LA Dodgers. The party is still going on here at the Battery in Atlanta. A curtain call for Freddie Freeman. A game-deciding homer off Josh Hader in the 8th propels the Braves to a 5-4 win. Back in Atlanta, 5-4 Braves beat the Brewers. Our final segment on the Braves Live post-game show. Let's check in with a couple of proud men of Kentucky. Paul Bird standing by with Adam Duvall.
Adam Duvall, incredible person, player. What a series. But first things first, who you got there?
This is Stone. This is my son. Say hi. Can you tell everybody hi? No.
He's a silent, steady, sturdy type. I like it.
He skipped his nap today.
Nobody skipped their nap here. The crowd's going nuts. You guys find out about Soler, a little jockeying in the outfield, but you guys come through and pick each other up.
Yeah, the crowd was absolutely insane tonight. We had some big moments in that game, and you could hear them. That was awesome.
You come back mid-season, help turn this team around. This team's winning. You're back in it with the playoffs. No injuries this time, okay? For you, like last year, how excited are you to move on to the next level?
Oh, super excited. You know, we're back where we were last year, and you know, we've got some bigger ambitions in mind. So, you know, we're going to enjoy this one, and then you know, we'll see who we play here soon, and then you know, focus on that.
Last one, the character of this team in that locker room, bouncing back, the different type of players you have.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we caught ourselves down there a couple times tonight, and we didn't, you know, we didn't give in, we didn't give up, we kept fighting, and you know, Freddie with that big hit, wow, what a moment for him. You know, that's when big guys show up, and he did. That was awesome.
A man wants to hold.
Well, that's what we've said all year long, guys. Against all odds, against all comers, somehow this Braves team found a way. They did that against a 95-win team, the Milwaukee Brewers. They know they advanced to the National League Championship Series. Now you've got a potential of two 100-plus win teams, either the Dodgers, who are leading 4-0 tonight, or the San Francisco Giants, who subdued L.A. Who do you want to face? Who do you think the Braves will face beginning Saturday?
Well, like I said, I want that series to go 5 games.
Right.
You go 5 games. Logan Webb throws in Game 5. I already said I want San Francisco for the matchup purposes. I feel like that'd be a good matchup for them, better than LA. But if Logan Webb has to pitch Game 5, now all of a sudden you're setting it up perfectly for the Braves. So we'll see what ends up happening. And you can take a look at the runs per game, home runs, ERAs, all that stuff pretty equal. So this reminds me a little bit of this series against Milwaukee, BJ, where runs are going to be at a premium no matter what happens. But I kind of like this matchup the best.
Yeah, I do like this matchup the best. And, you know, Dodgers are winning tonight, so it looks like they may go to Game 5. And that's a great thing for the Braves, like you said, especially if Webb, which he will pitch that Game 5, not being able to start the series. So I think the Braves have the advantage. I would love to see San Francisco win that series, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. After looking at the numbers this year, at least, I think it'd be better for them to face the Giants. You know, both teams, though, they have a ton of veterans. They've been in the postseason a ton of times. But, yeah, I think potentially the Giants would be a better one to face.
So as Brian Snitker said, everybody's going to have a day off tomorrow. Then they'll regroup, get ready for that second-round matchup. Before we look ahead, let's put a final bow on what you saw tonight, Nick.
I'm just happy they won these games. I mean, This team, to me, I'm so invested in this team. And I feel like last year, the shortened season really got me going with this club. I love Brian Snitker. I love the players on this team. They've been through so much last year and this year. To see them advance to the NLCS is big for me. But I'm just happy for the players, happy for the fans. And knowing the fans couldn't be here last year, BJ, is big for them. The team is coming up. in big situations, advancing. So this has been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch this team because, one, they've been so resilient. They had to overcome so many obstacles this year. And to see Alex Anthopoulos make the moves that he did, you know, were they popular moves at the time? Nobody really knew because these guys were not playing that great, but they saw something in those guys. And the season just turned around. I think it gave everybody the confidence that we're a good team. We saw the starting rotation come together. And the bullpen was just phenomenal down the stretch when you need them most. So it's fun watching a resilient team come together through tough times. And that's what we've seen from the Braves. And that's why I feel good about their chances this year.
Yeah, and, you know, I was part of the team the last 3 years, and then last year was just obviously a weird year for everybody. Not having fans until, what was it, the NLCS, and facing the Dodgers. This is pretty much the same group of guys, but then, like you said, Alex goes out. They get 4 outfielders. I mean, a blow to the team with Acuna going down. Baseball didn't want to see that. The Braves didn't want to see that. But these 4 guys are huge. They're big bats, big pieces to the puzzle. And obviously good dudes, too. And that goes a long ways.
It's still a very young team, but it's a very experienced team now, and that's experience the Braves are going to count on in the next round against either San Francisco or Los Angeles. Speaking of experience, Charlie, we can't thank you enough for your experience. You're 1-0 on TV. You did a great job. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Appreciate it. Y'all made it easy for me, and I think the Braves made it a little bit easier for me tonight, too.
Well, we expect you to keep winning when you do this again. Hopefully it'll be in the LCS. Brian Jordan, enjoy being with you. Nick Green as well. What a night. Braves knock off Milwaukee. 5-4 is your final score. And again, NLCS tickets have now gone on sale. Get them at braves.com/postseason. The NLCS begins this coming Saturday. Man, oh man, that's going to be a lot of fun. And we will be with you, hopefully with fun recaps of every Braves postseason game yet to come. Join us on Valley Sports South, Valley Sports Southeast, and of course on the Valley Sports app. For Charlie Culberson, for Brian Jordan, for Nick Green, and our entire crew, I'm Chip Carey. Thank you for joining us in Atlanta tonight. The Braves take down the Milwaukee Brewers. Charlie Morton started on short rest. 6 relievers followed. Freddie Freeman, an 8th-inning homer, and Will Smith nailed down a 1-run win. And the Braves move on to the NLCS beginning Saturday. I'm Chip Carey. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.